Hello everybody and welcome to the Shoal weekly podcast. I can say that I'm the host this week and I'm joined with Ben.
Hey guys.
Unfortunately, we don't have any of Joe's smooth lyrical vocals and long words and academic prose this week, but you will have instead me and Ben trying to talk smart about Star Wars Visions. As always, I'll keep it short. Go follow the socials and all that jazz, and let's get on.
Priorities.
Yeah.
Get on to the good stuff. We're talking about Star Wars.
What I mean, lads, let's go. Let's talk about Star Wars.
Yeah. We're going straight in. Get absolutely all the way in. Not stopping for anything like that. Get rid of that bit.
We should do that. What have you been watching, Ben?
All right, fine. I've been watching. Finished Sex Education, the Netflix show, season 3, season 3,
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
What did you think?
Good. I think it definitely. I think it could have gone either way. They could have just done another season for the sake of it. I thought the first two were obviously very good. Big pickup, especially in the UK. I think the third season could have just been a bit of a fan service, but actually I think they kept it quite original, which was really quite refreshing. There was a lot of issues they talked about, which I think sex education has kind of become quite a good platform for talking about.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of heavy subject matter in it, isn't there?
A lot of heavy subject matter. I think they introduced some new characters. I feel like they should have introduced some more, because I think some of the things that they made the characters do, like that was a little bit out of sync for what that character should be doing. You know what I mean? Like it felt like they're maybe causing some action for the sake of it. But then on the other hand, they're supposedly teenagers, aren't they? So
I saw a TikTok the other
go.
day about it, and it was like, how does the geography of this town make sense? Because like in one season, Amy has to get a bus to school, and then in the next season, she's picking up Maeve.
Yeah,
but Maeve usually walks to school.
Yeah,
So
it's mad. It's the fact they all live at the other end of a forest, but all of them do.
And they have to walk through this forest to get to school.
Yeah. It is funny. It's
on a scale of 1 to 10, how much of a dick is Otis? In your opinion?
This season?
Yeah.
In season 3?
Yeah.
Probably like at the start of the season, he's probably up there like a 7 or an 8.
Yeah.
But I think he comes to realization and he turns it down to a good, 1 or 2, the standard man level. I think at the end of the season.
At the beginning, though, when he's what's her name? Is it Ruby? And he's like,
oh yeah,
he proper fucks with her, doesn't he?
Like, I mean, she's messing with her. She's messing with him, but then the tables turn and he realizes. Yeah. But like, it's not intentional. He's just like, she just kind of let herself. She just fell in love, and he didn't. Like, and it's just like, damn, there you go.
Like a bit bad for both of them in that sense.
Yeah,
like,
they definitely. Like he clearly liked her. He was just couldn't get over Maeve, which is interesting. I think
he
it's
never
quite
will,
interesting.
will he? Like in terms of the series, he's never going to get over her.
I think maybe that. For me, I thought he'd moved on. I thought they'd moved past that. And they kind of kept going in a new direction, like, and him maturing and going forward. Because at the end of the day, like, I mean, especially for teenagers and as young adults that we are as well, I think you don't really get. I don't think you getting hung up on one person. Like if if your Valentine rejected you in like year 10 or something, are you gonna, you're not gonna be stalking them in sixth form. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I feel like you would move on pretty quickly. Like, you can take the blow and move on. So I think it's just interesting. But no, very entertaining as always, hilarious in places as always, and yeah, I liked it. So I'm excited for season 4. Some big cliffhangers were left with us. So yeah, it'd be good to see where it goes. And if they do another season, it's definitely there.
Oh, they definitely will.
Yeah, they don't leave those kind of cliffhangers without another one.
Especially when like how popular it is. They'll rinse it, won't they, until it's like dead.
Yeah, and the actors age out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then they'll bring the new characters in, and it just won't be the same. Those sort of shows always happens like that, don't they?
Well, it's interesting because I don't think there's so obviously Netflix and Netflix productions haven't been around that long. I don't think we've got
Mm.
one of those yet. We've not had a Netflix show that really has kind of reached the end of its cycle, I suppose is the right way to say it, and then it's
Yeah,
refreshed. Not many of them have done that yet. They've obviously got such a massive bank of shows, haven't they? And obviously
I
they've
feel
only
like
started making their own recently.
Stranger Things will do that as well at some
Oh
point.
yeah. Mm.
There's got to be a new season coming of that soon, surely.
What
Have
was
you,
the
have you
last one?
seen it?
Season 3? No, I don't really like that.
Huh.
I can't do horror or anything. So
I mean, it's not a horror, that lad.
I've seen the
It's
pitch. I've
not.
seen the clips of the monsters, and that's enough for me. I'm good.
Okay, right.
I'm done. I'm out of there. Like no, 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 no. I'm not about that. I leave that to Joe. Like Joe can just tell me if it's good or not. I'll just
Right.
trust his word.
What was it? It was like Fear Street, wasn't it? Like, did you watch that in the end or not?
No, no way.
No.
Absolutely not.
It's
Like
quite good, but
I can't do horror films. Like it's just for me because obviously some horror films are like it's like jump scares, isn't it? And some of them,
yeah,
but they make it so obvious. And like I know you're about to scare me, and I am scared, but I'm like I'm more terrified of the fact that I know what you're about to do than what it actually is. And also, don't
right,
get me
yeah,
started on Pennywise, man. That's just evil. Like
yeah.
there's a clown who like is an adult who lives in the sewers and eats kids. Like I don't need to watch that, really. So. There's videos. Do you remember a few years ago? There's like it went viral, didn't it? People
Like,
scaring people as a clown.
yeah, dressed up as clown on like the end of
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
street. Yeah, yeah.
But then the clowns started getting battered. Like I had zero sympathy for them clowns. I was like, they deserve it. Like,
To be
get the
fair, yeah.
baseball bat out and whack them over
You
the
know,
head.
you're vicious,
Honestly,
you.
it's got a deep mistrust of clowns. A deep mistrust. No, I never got clowns. Never got it. As a kid, I always had we had like never had it. You sometimes you get the birthday clowns and they come along to the kids' parties, right? And they do all the
Yeah, yeah.
balloons and tricks. Nope, never. I had cowboys and Indians and like pirates and knights and stuff. Like never.
So, like, they're never that funny. Even as a
Nah.
kid, they weren't funny.
It's creepy,
So,
man.
it's a
Creepy.
bit of a nonce profession, isn't it? Like,
Watch Joe in 5 years be a clown.
fucking hell, I hope not.
Sorry, Joe. Just FYI.
It's alright, he isn't here. He's not going to listen to this. We can slag him off as much as we want.
Yeah, this is the
Yeah,
test
yeah.
to our listeners. If you're listening, we're checking to see if our other co-host is listening. Oh dear. Well,
Yes.
anyway, what have you been watching?
Well, speaking of horror, I don't know if it's really a horror, but I rewatched Scary Movie 2 recently.
Was it scary?
No. Have you seen I suppose you haven't seen the first one.
No, I have not.
They're like spoofs of horror films. And the
Okay,
first one,
that's fair. I could probably get behind
yeah,
that.
like the first one's quite good. It takes the piss out of Scream, and I think it's Friday the 13th as well. I think.
Yeah.
But this one, I used to really like it when I was young, and it used to be hilarious. And then I rewatched it, and it just didn't hit the same. Wasn't as funny, which is a shame.
Yeah,
But
it's always. I think there's always like your humor like kind of like matures, doesn't it, and changes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's very immature, like the humor in it,
Mm.
and some
Like
of
for
them,
example,
some of the jokes are
yeah,
just a bit dodgy. Like looking
yeah.
back, you're like, oh,
It's like what's it called? Some of the Monty Pythons, like I absolutely loved as a kid, and most of them are timeless. But then there's just like you completely change how you see some of the jokes, and that's
yeah,
what Pixar is. Pixar and Disney films are great for that as well, aren't they? Like having the kind of double. Is it
yeah,
double
but yeah,
entendre? Yeah,
yeah. One's like they have an adult joke within the kid joke, don't they?
yeah,
Sort of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
No, it's good that. So it's yeah, that's fair. That's
yeah.
fair.
Right. I should probably talk about Star Wars, shouldn't we?
Yeah, probably. It's the elephant in the room, or
Professional as ever, eh?
the universe in the room. Yeah. Well, we should probably introduce this because this is probably not as big a thing, and you might not have watched it. But what we're going to be talking about this week is Star Wars Visions, which is a kind of a mini series, I suppose, that Disney Plus and Star Wars put out. and essentially it is Star Wars done by, I want to say, famous anime houses, but I actually don't know much about them and the individual creators. But basically, a bunch of different. I think it's how many episodes are there? Nine, eight,
9
or nine,
at the
nine.
minute.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
nine different houses, production houses, basically built their own kind of 20-minute short story about Star Wars in their own art styles. So it's all anime, and it is obviously all um, they're all completely different production houses. So every single episode looks different, which is actually really a cool idea. Because obviously the only thing linking them is the content and the themes, but actually it looks completely different. It's brilliant. Very, I mean, it's quite innovative actually. I would say, you know,
yeah. I
so
should
there's
probably
not.
say that it's like an anthology as well, so they don't
Yes,
run on from each other,
yeah,
and
exactly.
they're not Star Wars canon, are they? So
No, no,
they
no. It's
had like
all
free reigns to do whatever they wanted with it, with just
exactly,
the
yeah. So they kind of took the rule book out the window really, and they were allowed to just come up with whatever they want. I have to say, watching a few of them, I was like, I really want to see the rest of this. Like, I want to know the
yeah, yeah,
back.
yeah.
I want to see the backstory. I want to see the future events. Like, give me
Well,
more.
there's some things that I think they should take into like the actual Star Wars universe,
Oh
like
yeah.
the idea. Have you seen the one where they change the color of the lightsaber, like by the person holding it? It's like it's not dependent on the crystal.
Is that the third episode with the twins?
Um,
Because I feel like they do a similar thing. I might not have seen the one where it's depending on the holding. I
oh
don't
no, I think
recognize
it's
that.
the Ninth Jedi.
All right.
So it's the fifth
Ah,
episode. Yeah, yeah.
I'm halfway through that one yet, so I've
So
not seen that yet.
basically, it's like dependent on the holder, and like if they
Mm,
um as they like mature as a Jedi or a Sith or whatever, they
interesting.
like the color of the lightsaber changes. So
Mm.
like a kid has it at one point, and it's like doesn't have a color because she isn't
Ah,
like fully developed as a Jedi yet. It's
that's
really cool.
that's that's quite a cool concept, actually.
Yeah, yeah. I think that'd be mint in the actual like
Yeah,
series.
I guess that it wouldn't really work though, because the kyber crystals like have a color themselves though. So I feel like that
Yeah,
wouldn't.
yeah. But I meant like they should have done it when they started. You know,
Yeah.
like this changed the whole thing.
Mr. Lucas, please take into our considerations rolling back to the 1970s, please, and changing everything.
He could do a special edition where he
Yeah.
takes out all his CGI and puts that in instead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just having like rainbow colored lightsabers, like RGB style, you know.
RGB.
Can you just imagine Darth Vader with an RGB lightsaber, and it's just like on different patterns, and he's just swinging it around? Feel like
Just
that would
like
be.
glowing in different colours. Like
Yeah, yeah,
you know when you get like Christmas lights and they have
yeah,
different
yeah, yeah.
settings. Yeah, yeah.
Just as a fast flash as he's like charging towards you, and, and as he's standing still, it's like a soft pulse. Yeah, that would be hilarious.
And one's like a barber, you know, like a barber candy cane thing that they outside barber shops.
Yeah, yeah, just spiralizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
What
would
was your
be really
favourite
funny.
episode, though, lad?
Hmm.
Or so far, like, because we haven't watched them all, have we?
No, not finished them. But my favorite episode, I think, has to be episode 4, which is the one with the village bride. Um, and it's yeah, I quite like that one. Just I thought it was almost the most cuddly Star Wars one. Like, so obviously the basic Star Wars mechanics. If you somehow have lived under a rock for the whole entirety of your life, the basic Star Wars mechanics are essentially there's a force that exists in the universe, and you can bend that force for good or for evil, the light and the dark side. There is a huge amount of gray area in there, and that's something that the Star Wars universe really does like draw upon. For a lot of things it does, and the whole universe is basically a metaphor for humans and human societies, and kind of it's quite political. It's not meant to be political, but it is, and some
Oh
of the
yeah,
things in that
definitely.
do reflect that. You know, it's a work of fiction from an author who lives in today's society. You know, so a lot of the themes and stuff do draw upon things that you can relate to, which is quite cool. If anything, it makes it it's probably one of the reasons why it's been so successful, because it's very relatable. It's not this kind of out of this world sci-fi that you can't really, it doesn't make any sense. It's quite the ideologies behind everything make sense, and you can identify with them quite strongly, which is good. But essentially, in this particular episode, episode 4, it's about a planet, which is essentially the planet itself is. It's the impression that this episode gives is the planet itself is quite in touch with the force, and almost stores memories and kind of looks after its inhabitants the same way that they look after it. So essentially, it's a massive episode of karma where the village that have been kind of destroyed and beat down by the war, being terrorized by bandits, and essentially, a Jedi comes along to save the day. And there's always, it's about the village bride. It's she's the sacrificial lamb kind of thing, and she's saved at the last minute. Spoiler alert. But yeah, I just really liked it. I liked the art style. I liked the message that everything had, and it felt like classic Star Wars. There was a big build up to with really no action. There was a nice storytelling aspect behind it, and then boom, you had the kind of I think it was literally like 2 minutes of action at the end. And bearing in mind these are like
Yeah.
20-minute episodes, it's like 90 seconds of action, and then boom, it's over. But I just thought it was really cool. I had the iconic droids like falling over because they lost their command center, and it's just like just Phantom Menace vibes. That's what I was getting. That's
Mm.
basically why I just loved it. I was like, this is like the Phantom Menace. But
It probably felt the most cohesive out of all of them that I've seen. As
mm,
like the story made the most sense
yeah, I
to
think
me.
it had almost the most story in there. We got we got
Yeah,
a we
yeah,
got a
yeah.
backstory explanation of the planet. We got a backstory explanation of the village. We got a backstory explanation of the Jedi herself. There was a lot. We knew a lot about it. Whereas I think that kind of my other favorite episode, the Duel, episode 1, which
That's
is the
my
kind of
favorite. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, this is like kind of the film noir style one where it's all black and white, um, with the exception of
The
the
lightsabers.
the only color being the lightsabers, which is actually, you know what? If they released like I don't know episode 10 or something, and it was film noir with colored
Oh, mate,
lightsabers,
honestly, elite, wouldn't it?
I'd watch it every single day.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
just go back to the cinema. Like that'd be insane. Can you imagine? Oh, it'd just be nuts.
Mm.
Yeah, but anyway, that was a great episode. But we knew nothing. We knew absolutely nothing. It was just about the action on screen,
I
which
sort of like that.
yeah,
Like for a first episode, because it's so new and different from any other Star Wars thing we've ever seen. It was good to
mm,
just be thrown in and be like, you don't know anything about these characters, but
it's a
you
taste.
also know what's going on
Yeah,
instantly because it's
yeah.
Star Wars. You just know what's going on.
Exactly, yeah.
It's
At the same
class.
time as well, it was actually it was quite interesting though, because it wasn't
Yeah,
like your normal Star Wars. There was baddie versus a baddie, and then it turns out the baddie is not so much of a baddie as you thought. It's like, what's going on?
yeah, yeah. And that whole umbrella style
Oh, so
lightsaber thing.
cool.
Oh my god.
And like, oh my, I mean, she just rams it through that guy. Like,
Yeah, and then
wow.
splits it open on him.
Yeah,
Ah,
nuts.
it was really gory. I've never seen Star Wars that gory.
Yeah, definitely had a big violent factor on it. Yeah. Um. Oh no, epic. Really liked it.
Massive bugbear I've got with the whole series though is in every single episode they use punch it or
Got a
I've
bad
got a bad
feeling
feeling
about
about this. Every
it.
episode, man.
Oh,
It really bugged me.
I said exactly the same thing to Joe. I was like, the one thing that they all do is he somehow managed to fit in. I've got a bad feeling about this. Literally every single episode. I'm just like, I mean, I get it. Like, I get it. If you are given the opportunity to make a short story for Star Wars and you're
You're
allowed
gonna
to
use it,
use,
aren't you?
you're
Yeah.
gonna, of course, like it. I've got a bad feeling about this. Is almost more iconic than the lightsabers themselves.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
if you were to make a single noise or say a single line from Star Wars, you would say, "I've got a bad feeling about this," and it's like, yeah, I get it, but like you said, yeah, I totally agree. I was
It's
just like, come
especially
on,
when you're watching them one after each other, and because they're only short, and it feels like you're just hearing that all the time. I'm like, no, no. There should have been some communication to be like, right, you're not allowed to use this line.
yeah,
You
yeah,
can use this line instead.
for sure, for sure.
What's the other one as well? One of them said, "I am one with the Force, and the Force is one with me." And I was like, "Oh God,
I've not
cringe."
watched that one. I like that. I liked that line though. I thought that was because that was obviously new to the Rogue One, wasn't it? That was
Yeah, but I feel it's just so overdone. But I mean, it's Star
yeah,
Wars.
for
Everything
sure.
Star Wars is overdone, you know.
Yeah, it's true. But I mean, I just think when stuff in Star Wars is original, I think it does better.
Oh
So,
yeah,
for
definitely,
example,
definitely.
like the original trilogy did extremely well, and that the prequel trilogy, for a lot of its faults, also did very well because it was still very original content and storylines. Whereas we look at the
Hmm.
sequels now, aside from the fact that I think you have to, if you take into account the size of Disney and Disney backing the sequels, I think that maybe skews how they would have been received, maybe otherwise. Because, in my opinion, like the sequels are just a rehash of everything we've already seen. Like, there's nothing
Oh yeah, there's
original in
nothing
there.
original. Yeah, yeah.
The same plot lines, the same building points, and then
Particularly
all.
Episode 7,
Oh god, yeah.
like particularly.
Yeah, I mean, the visually it was the same. Like
Yeah.
actually the same locations and stuff as like previous. Oh yeah,
See, I didn't
don't
really
even get me
mind
started.
the visual thing, but like the fact that it's literally just the original three films in one film really,
Yeah.
really bugged me. I was like, can
Oh,
you
that's
not
just
do
yeah,
anything new? Like,
yeah. Like Kylo Ren and Poe held up that trilogy like big time. Everyone else just got it was just in the way as far as I'm concerned.
BB-8 held up that trilogy, mate. I
Oh
don't know what
yeah,
you're
BB-8 was
talking about.
yeah, but BB-8 was Poe's droid, so like there's
Yeah,
bit
true.
you know. But then oh yeah, but it was good. And like I mean like so the I Am One with the Force Forces with Me is obviously from Rogue One, which is also a very good film, a really really good Star
Yeah,
Wars film
it's the
because it was
best of the new lot
totally
for sure.
original. There was absolutely nothing reused except for a hallway scene with Vader in it. Like that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
it. Everything else was completely clean. And yeah, I think that's. I mean, I don't actually know how well Visions has done in terms of
Viewership.
viewing,
Yeah.
but I think it's been quite widely talked about. Obviously, episode one went viral. If you are a keen connoisseur of Reddit and TikTok, you will definitely recognize the sound and the image of his lightsaber is red. um, she's like, I've not killed a Jedi for a long time or something like that, and then it turns out he's not a Jedi.
Yeah.
That's pretty big these days. It went pretty viral, which is also pretty cool because we love to see Star Wars do well. Was your favorite? What was your favorite lightsaber? Because we saw quite a few different types of lightsaber. I mean, obviously we got the changing color one. We've got the lightsaber that the umbrella lightsaber.
Yeah.
We had the samurai sword lightsaber in the same episode, the first episode. It's like kind of like a massive hilt that he kind of pulls out of it, like the lightsaber almost comes out of the sheath. It's not like kind of popped.
Mm.
Is normally they're a handle, aren't they? The lightsaber comes out of it, whereas this
Yeah,
one was
yeah.
like kind of scabbard for the lightsaber. It was very cool. Cool. I'm trying to think of the other ones. Episode 4 had a
It was like a flat one, like an actual
yeah, it was
sword.
like
I
an
think
actual
that was my
sword.
favorite.
That was cool. It's quite like the dark saber that, which is in the Mandalorian.
Yes, yeah, yeah,
Another brilliant classic piece of Star Wars, which was
yeah.
original. Funny
True.
this.
My question was going to be about the the music episode that we both don't like
Oh, do
because
we
we
even
talked
have to
about it
talk
before,
about?
didn't we?
So there is a certain episode which will go unnamed. Episode 3. No, 2. Episode
Mm.
2, sorry. I've just shut oh god, I've just yeah, anyway, episode
You're getting
2.
flashbacks, yeah.
I'm getting flashbacks, man. Oh, so bad. Like,
So cringe. I thought it was so cringe, man.
first of all, the animation style, I hated it. Like with a passion. I was like, this is ugly. There's nothing cool about this. And then to make it worse, the characters were awful. Like the acting, I don't know what it was, but like they were dreadful. Like the lines and everything they were saying, it was like.
As if Jabba the Hutt would let you off because you played one song. Do you know what I mean?
And also, they were playing like traditional rock. I'm like, come
it's,
on,
it's so
like
not Star Wars, you know.
at least make it Star Wars music. Like dun
At
dun
least,
dun dun dun
I
dun
would say,
dun
at least
dun
play the
dun dun
Cantina
dun
song.
dun. Exactly. Like at least do something with it. Go.
Like
Oh
that's
man.
like such. That's right there. Like you're on Tatooine. Get
Play the cantina.
get the Cantina band as backing band. You know,
I know, yeah.
sorted.
Also, I mean, like not only that, but there was like, how did a Jedi Padawan, who's clearly young, like not even a Padawan, he's like a youngling, like get separated, end up in the back of a band's trailer, and like, and then this really got me, not realizing that his lightsaber was broken, and then what does he do? He turns his lightsaber into a microphone. I mean,
Obviously.
come on. Oh, I just thought it was weird though, because that episode was actually like, I mean, okay, in fairness, the one good thing about that episode, Boba Fett was actually insane in that episode.
Yeah,
Um,
but still, like, it'd have been so much better in another episode. Like,
yeah, it definitely would have been. Like, it was weak. It was definitely weak. It was almost like trying to be too playful, whereas I feel like most of the other episodes went serious.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and I feel like, yeah, I definitely prefer the the
I
serious ones,
feel
because
there's a good
yeah.
like array of anime in there though. Like, and I think that is obviously a big part of anime, isn't it? It's like the whole intro with the rock music and
Yeah, that's true. Actually, it did have a kind of classic anime vibe.
but just not the art style as well because it's very childish the art style. I thought.
Yeah, like I'd say the most classic anime style for me would probably be 4 and 5. Like, so
Mm,
the village bride and the ninth Jedi. I'd say those two are quite classic styles. Just in
yeah,
terms of like the way they were drawn, the faces and the colors. Obviously the Dougal was like kind of film noir esque. Wasn't
yeah.
It was quite
That whole film
sketchy.
grain on it was lovely.
Mm, yeah, it was very nice. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, Tatooine Rhapsody, just those massive droopy eyes. I was like, I wanted to slap him off his face. Like, I don't want to see you anymore. Can I skip
There's a lot of
already?
stuff in there that I thought was just there because people had recognised, like Boba Fett, like Jabba the Hutt, the pod racing, like
Yeah,
everything just
without
felt
any pod
like
racing. Like, you could have, if you're gonna
yeah,
tease the pod racing, show me some pod racing. Like,
yeah, yeah.
don't just take me to the venue without actually showing me pod racing.
It just felt a bit like, oh yeah, you're just doing that because we'll recognise it, and it
Yeah.
just didn't pay off, did it?
No, I didn't like that episode. But that's okay. You're allowed your personal opinions.
No,
It's
you're
Star
not.
Wars. Yeah, it's Star Wars. It's going to divide opinion. Honestly, it's just Star Wars, really, isn't it? At this point, it's divisive, it's political, and it is epic, all at the same time.
I think that's a good enough place to stop it there. It's a very
Yeah,
nice last comment, lad.
I feel like we've commented. We've commented on everything Visions. If you haven't watched it, it's on Disney Plus or other services, and it is yeah, 20-minute episodes, very easy to watch. And I think, what do you think? How about a final rating, Chaz? What do you reckon out of
Oh,
10?
at
If you
10,
could summarize the entire Star Wars Visions venture.
I'd go about 7.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. I'd probably
Yeah,
agree with you. Yeah, six,
it's
maybe.
not like mind blowing, but it's just
Yeah,
fun to watch. It's fun to explore what Star Wars could be
yeah. It's true.
if
It's a
let totally
nice.
wild.
Yeah, yeah, and it's interesting. I think it's a great advertisement for letting George Lucas stay in charge of Star Wars. That's what I'll say. Let the man keep his creation intact. But yeah, no, awesome. Well, thank you very much for listening, guys. As always, do check out our socials. If you like this episode, leave a like. Leave a comment if you want us to talk about any films that are coming up or anything in particular that you want us to talk about. It can be an old film, can be a new film. Uh, yeah, let us know what you think, and
Yeah,
we'll catch you next time.
the next podcast is on Dune, I think.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
Oh, what a big one. Can't believe I forgot to mention that. So yeah, Dune comes out next week. So we will be releasing a podcast hot off the press after that, giving you our thoughts and probably just fanboying over the whole thing, really.
I
Probably
think
going to be
Joe will
that.
be. Yeah,
Yeah, I want to
he'll be
be.
telling me how I should have seen it in IMAX and all this.
Yeah, so that is available on HBO Max if you have that, which we are definitely going to be talking about, a very controversial point. And then we will also be talking about the IMAX experience because Joe and I are going to watch it in true IMAX in the Printworks Theatre in Manchester, which is going to be epic. We'll let you know how that goes. But yeah, can't wait to talk to you all again soon. Ta-ta for now.